Irish papers outside the door afterwards, okay? Slogan first.
Yeah, it was. Well beaten in the game. Second best for pretty well all of the evening. And obviously missing some key players, but even so, we should still try and do better.
Is that hard to pick them up from the players? Or?
I think that I think we have to look at a number of things. I think that we naturally watch the game back again, try and pick out where we think that we made a few mistakes. Well, more than a few, of course. Trying to squeeze up where everybody allowing room for world-class players, and particularly Gareth Bale to work his magic. Second goal was fantastic, and obviously 2 goals down early on in the game. It's a long way back, but we'll learn from that.
Okay.
Can you just expand more on Gareth and what a difference he makes? Because obviously he was missing for that fixture back in October.
Sorry?
Gareth was missing for the fixture back in October. He played tonight.
Yeah, but he also played in the game the time before in Dublin when at the time Seamus broke his leg, that particular game, and he was relatively quiet that night. But tonight he's a world-class player, and I do think it does help when you have got a world-class player at your disposal. He is capable of unlocking defences. He's capable of scoring the goal, the type of goal that he did do. And he's playing for Real Madrid as well too, so it does help. And they've got a couple of players who accompany him pretty well as well too. And they played very well. And even their younger players played exceptionally well tonight.
You said you've been decimated with injuries and things like that. You also said you have to be brave on the board as a team. Is that the sort of the most disappointing thing?
Very much so. Yeah, I think we have to take. We have to. I've been saying this for some time. Be more positive. Be stronger in the ball. Deal with it. When it comes into you, don't start panicking. Play. Try and get on the half turn to get ourselves going forward, but play the right ball. Play the right ball and deal with it, and be able to deal with the ball under pressure, which is the sign of a player. That's it. That's exactly what it's all about. It's the sign of a player. Dealing with the ball under pressure, making the right pass at the right time, and obviously trying to retrieve it at some stage or another as well.
Martin, the fact that it's 2 heavy defeats in successive competitive games, does it skim your enthusiasm for the job when you look at the limited options that you have? No,
not at all. Tonight we were missing some really key players. Fine, okay, that's sometimes we haven't even had 1 or 2 of those at our disposal, and we fought through this. This was a really tough evening for us tonight, and regardless of whether we have some players missing, it's still tough. We should do better. It has not diminished my enthusiasm for the job one jot. We have a long way to go, and the qualification. It started tonight, as far as I'm concerned, but it's a long way to go, and we might have 1 or 2 of the players back for the games in Dublin. We might not, but we should do. We should have a better showing, and we should do better.
Martin, why do you think the players aren't more positive on the ball? What you were talking about there, things that really make a player in a game like that. What is it, do you think, that some of the players aren't stepping up in these big games?
Well, I think that. We do possess 1 or 2 players who are not playing regularly in Championship football, and I think that the step up was obviously it's difficult. It's difficult to come from that from not participating regularly at Championship level, to come in and play against the likes of Ramsey or Bale, players like this here. But even so, at the end of it all, we should still be able to do what we did do. We came here 11 months ago and won. Fantastic battle. We won the game. Got ourselves into the playoffs. We're beaten by Denmark. we didn't do too badly in the World Cup. But we've got to. I think the players have the confidence. Get the confidence, and just deal with it. If you're dealing with the ball, then you've got a better chance. You have a better chance of making the correct decisions on the field, and that's. I've been saying it for some time. So we'll try and improve in that. There, we have to.
Would you hope for more from Howard and Hendrick in the middle of the field? I know they were run up against 3, but they seem to be completely overrun at times.
Yeah, well, we had the idea was that Callum Robinson would come in and help there. I mean, we had John Walters has played 1 game this season, and that was on Saturday for Ipswich. So he was, John was struggling, but we. For proper fitness, hopefully maybe by next month he might have played a few games. That would help. Robinson's first match as well too. So the idea was for him to go in and join in as well too. It's a difficult ask for a young kid coming in and playing his first game. To be coming in and trying to dominate. But I do think you're right. I think we should have done better in the middle of the pitch.
Would you have any worries? You've obviously seen the players at their peak at Euro 2016, but would you have any worries after this defeat and coming back in Denmark and seeing 9 goals in 2 games about their confidence levels now and a month to try and turn it around for the 2 home games of your ability to get them back up, or that they haven't been permanently dented? Right.
My own view is that I think that we'll definitely get up for the games. Hopefully we might have 1 or 2 players back. If we don't, we'll still have. It's. Of course, when you're well beaten in the game, confidence definitely takes a hit, but we can fight back.
Martin, with hindsight, all the off-field stories about players that weren't there, do you think that proved a distraction this week ahead of tonight?
My own view, no. It was the injured players that was my concern, not the other distractions.
Yeah. What was the thought process behind playing Cyrus Christie and Seamus Coleman?
Well, I'm not so sure that I really should be going into all of those things. It's my prerogative to play. I thought Cyrus Christie was one of our best players tonight. I thought he played exceptionally well in a position that he has played before, but he's normally a right back. And I thought that the two of them were combining excellently. And I thought Cyrus Christie, considering he hasn't played very much at all for Fulham, I thought he did very, very well for us. Some long bursting runs, and of course fitness was a wee bit of a problem towards the end. But that game will bring him on immensely. So I thought he did really well.
And just to briefly touch on something that Nathan did, when you talk about the players need to deal with it themselves, they need to build up their own confidence to get.
No, I know that's part of my job.
Yeah. But is it the responsibility to build up that level of confidence at club level to an extent and bring that into the camp, or is that something that you can work?
I think the club level form is very, very important. Of course, I've just mentioned to the lads in the dressing room. Of course, it is, and that's where it starts off there. It's that's your bread and butter, as it were. That's where you're playing. And if you're not playing, you have to ask why. You have to ask yourself why before you ask anyone else, and then try and get into the side, try and get into the team. And once you do get into the side, then you get a run of games. Then your confidence gets higher. Your fitness is much, much better. And so when games like this come along, you're able to deal with it, and you're not blowing after 25 minutes.
Did you feel that there is a slight? Were you missing a slight edge of fitness tonight?
Well, 1 or 2 who don't play that often, I must admit. But even so, listen, we were well beaten tonight. That's the bottom line. We're well beaten, and we'll have to learn from that.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go there.